Kevin, obviously finances are a big piece of leading a mission trip, both in terms of setting a budget and in terms of fundraising. Can you help those who have never done this before think through what some things are that you take into consideration in terms of finances for a mission trip?
First thing I'd say is if you don't love to do Excel spreadsheets, find someone that does. That's that's the first thing. Um, and after a while, kind of you get the system down, but really there's just all kinds of things to consider, from obviously the cost of the program to the travel, and then how do you handle any fundraising, and then how do you handle any students that need more support, and then what do you do when it's all over and you realize, oh boy, this happened and that happened, and so we had to spend extra money here or there. So all of that. But I do want to go back and just talk about one thing. I know most churches do fundraising for their mission trips. I grew up in a really small church. We actually did fundraising for our entire youth ministry. The church itself did not put a penny towards youth ministry, and they thought that was a great thing. That all the kids have to raise the money themselves. And what I find for mission trips at our church, and I'm going to say specifically our church because I'm in Simsbury. It's a rather affluent community, a place of means for a lot of people, not everyone. But what I find is that most people can pay for the trip themselves. So if my students are going around and they're asking church members, or they're asking a neighbor or whoever to help support their trip, really what they're doing is kind of asking for money for themselves, right? It's kind of like if they could afford to go to soccer camp, but yet they're going and they're asking their soccer team or other soccer parents to kind of help them pay for the thing. And I'm just not sure that's the best use of money. Once again, if really we wanted to put the money to the best use, we actually wouldn't go on the trip at all, and we would send the money that we raise for it. So what I do is I figure out and calculate the total cost of the trip per student, and I always go high on it, and that is the amount that I charge. That I say that's what it is. I also say now, if this is a problem for you, if you cannot manage this, and to the point, I say, if you even have a feeling like this is going to keep you from going on this trip, if you're having that thought that the amount of this is going to be too, then talk to me. Please talk to me. We'll have a confidential conversation, and we will give you assistance for the trip. At our church, we do that. We have a mission board that there's a percentage of the church's offering that goes towards the mission board. And what they do is they cover the cost of those students that come to me and say, hey, we can't quite get there to make this work. Now, in recent years, I will tell you, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, because I will tell you in the last 3 years, we have started doing a pumpkin patch. And that has presented itself to me because there was another church on the other side of town that was looking for a new location because they weren't selling as many pumpkins as they hoped. And they said, your church is in a better location. Could we do this together? So we've started doing it together. And so some of those funds do go to our trip, but we also give some of those funds away. And it's actually a really great experience to run this pumpkin patch with another church. Also, the pumpkins are purchased from Navajo reservation in New Mexico, and so there's a good cause there too. So we are doing some fundraising for our trips, but kind of from a philosophical standpoint, it's something that I struggle with.
So you don't go into all of the planning of several events a year in order to raise funds to finance a trip.
Makes it easier
from the youth.
Yeah, it makes it easier too. Absolutely. Yeah. And so one of the things that we've done, we don't do it every year, but we do it most years, is instead of a fundraiser for our trip, we will do a different kind of fundraiser. So this year we did a 30-hour fast, and we raised funds for Action Against Hunger, based off of the 30-hour famine model. But we did a 30-hour fast. We've done something called a Dance for Change, where we raised money for an orphanage of 20 boys in Uganda looking for schooling. So we try to raise funds for other organizations. So we do fundraisers, but not for our trip typically.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.